working on a zombie project, but to be working on a zombie project with your good friend Greg.
Greg is one of the blessings in my life. I mean, as a friend, certainly as a colleague, we've been talking about wanting to do zombies for a long time because we're both. We were separated at birth apparently in terms of the stuff we like. You know, we come from the same geek gene, and for us to actually get to do this and get to do it together, and get to do it on a project as good as this guy's material is a blessing. I mean, we count. There's so many blessings on the table. I mean, this cast. These are not insignificant factors. This is an amazing cast we have. Like, there's nobody in this who isn't great. They're such an indelible ensemble. Everybody's marvelous. So it's there's so many things going right here that I'm just happy.
Yeah,
just happy.
I can't gush on Greg Nicotero enough. I will say that from day one, the day I started talking about this with Frank, he mentioned, "Oh yeah, Greg's on board for this," and that was a huge part of me being excited about it, just because knowing that Greg Nicotero was going to be handling all this and that K&B would be involved and they would be doing the makeup effects, is just I knew that it would be well taken care of, and we're absolutely right. The show is absolutely amazing. It's the best zombies that we'll ever see until Greg Nicotero and K&B go do another zombie movie. but yeah, I mean, it's really quite remarkable the things they've been able to do, and you're going to see it all on television, which is just going to be people.
Why are zombies so popular now? Any thought on why it's emerging this as opposed to some other time?
No, I'm going to shut up this time. I just launched into a millennial rant over at that time, and they, when we left, they were going, "Thank God,
Gas
that guy's
prices
gone."
and George Bush.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to get a pitchfork.
Yeah, really.
George Bush caused the zombie outbreak, or zombie movie outbreak.
Exactly
I think
right.
that's our answer.
That is the answer.
Robert.
No, I mean, once George Bush made this country so horrible to live in, the fiction has to be that much more horrible and depressing to make up for how horrible and depressing life is.
Right.
And, you know, what's more horrible and depressing than zombies and surviving and living from day to day in this kind of world where these ravenous monsters can attack you? So,
Robert.
But it's also fun.
oh, yeah.
They're fun. The simple answer is they're fun. Zombies are fun.
You get to shoot people without them really being people.
With impunity.
We all really just want to shoot people indiscriminately and not get in trouble. Right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Robert.
To help
Did you,
with the metaphors.
Did you receive any experience or stories from your fellow image guys in terms of dealing with the industry? I mean, before all this, the fellow comic creators, they've been, a lot of them have been involved with the industry. So
a lot of advice from Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, that's
on the media aspect of it all, and getting to do adaptations and doing all this stuff. But I will say that Todd McFarlane's experience with making the Spawn movie just doesn't compare. My experience working on this television show with Frank and AMC and Gail and everyone else, I don't think I have a very realistic expectation of how these things are supposed to go.
Okay.
Just because every step of the way I've been allowed to be involved. That's my advice. Everyone working on this is actually talented and are doing a good job, and they're making a good product. I don't have to do press interviews where I go, well, it's a very interesting thing, and I think people are going to find value in it. I don't have to mince words. I can actually just sit here and be honest with you guys, and I don't think a lot of people that get their things adapted get to do that. And so it's really kind of a remarkable experience that has, quite frankly, ruined me for having my comic books turned into other things because, everything has been perfect. And I think that it shows in the final product. And
so does that mean you're worried that if something like Invincible, you might not possibly ever get the same kind of control then?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'll get the same control, but I don't think I'm going to ever get to work with the same caliber of people.
Okay.
Now, hopefully I'll be wrong, and I'm sure that I'll say that I was wrong when I'm working on this project. But right now, I just don't see it working out as well. Everything has gone way better than I could have ever expected it to, and so I feel like I've just been pampered and just been way too lucky on this one.
Yeah, you're fucked in the future.
Frank, how important for you is it to have Robert's involvement in this? I mean, obviously there's a huge wealth of source material to come from, but to have the guy actually pitching in.
Oh, well, I think it's, we are trying to hew to the spirit of what he has created, so to have the creator as part of the process is comforting, to say the least, and the value. Plus, I want him excited about it too. You know, I don't ever want to do anything that just pisses off the guy who created the thing I've adapted. So
That kind of means you're doing a bad job, right? In and of itself, it's kind of like, oh, I got this a little wrong.
in and of itself, but you know, it's been actually really fun to be able to call Robert on occasion. You haven't heard from me lately because I've been in the editing room like a maniac, but
I hear from you in the sense that I get edits of episodes.
you get edits of episodes. We send him every pass of every show, and you know, so he can look at it. Wait till you see these things actually color time. The image looks beautiful. That washed out, avid shit that you've been looking at. It's going to blow your mind. It's actually really good looking. But I remember the day. You know what my favorite conversation with Robert was? We were just really starting to kind of prep this thing, and I had written the first two, and I had this question I had to ask him, and I got on the Skype or the phone or something with him, and I said, okay, the world of The Walking Dead, your comic book, these characters, can Rick walk into a video store and pick up Romero's Dawn of the Dead, for example? Does the DVD for Dead Alive exist? Does the zombie exist as a concept in this world? Or are these creatures that, is this thing that's happening unique and fresh to this? Right. And I kind of had my theory, and he gave me the exact answer I was hoping you'd give me. You remember what you said?
I don't at all.
Yeah. Oh, you don't remember?
Yeah.
Okay. He said, no, I don't think. In this world, you could talk about, ghosts and witches and vampires and ghouls, but the idea of a zombie, a living dead creature, a person that comes back and is hungry for human flesh, doesn't exist in this world. This should be a unique. To their perceptions, a unique occurrence. And he said the same thing that I was feeling, which is, let this be fresh to them. That's why we never use the word zombie in the TV series, because it doesn't exist as a pop cultural thing. Right. If you could walk into Barnes & Noble and buy the, Max Brooks book.
Right, then they'd all be okay.
It would just be, it would just be weird,
So the entire show would fall apart the second someone said, yeah, it's just like Day of the Dead, right?
Right, exactly.
What?
I know what to do.
It would be too self-referential, like the Scream movies were doing parody of those kind of things.
Yes, exactly. We didn't want it to be self-referential, and it would be so impossible not to if Max Brooks had published his books, in this world. If Romero had made those movies.
Okay.